Hello, everyone. Welcome to Joystick Journeys and the Fantastic Arcade. I'm your fantastic and amazing host, Caleb, also known as Sand52, and Sand. Today in the arcade, we've got the wonderful, chaotically cozy Gabrielleslays, also known as Gab, also known as the one of the wonderful co-founders of the Cabin of Cozies.
Keep doing it. Keep talking me up. I like
Yeah,
this.
yeah, you like me hyping you up, Gab?
Hi. Hi. I'm
Welcome
Gab.
in. Thank you for
I'm so
coming
excited.
in.
Of course. No, thank you for giving me a platform to yap on. Don't you know? It's what I do best.
It's what we both
I
do
love
best.
this.
It's like why we're streamers or something, right?
It's all I do is yap. It's like I have a problem, like a diagnosed yapping problem.
Oh, man. So, as usual, I like to preference at the beginning that uh, we're just here to chat about games, chat about why we game, our history with gaming, and it's super relaxed, nothing to be strenuous about. This isn't professionally done at all. I have cobbled this together. I've learned the last 4 times I've done this how hard it is to run a podcast, especially on the back end side.
I couldn't do it. I'm not built that way.
I had to actually edit indies except for the little bit at the beginning that I usually cut off because instead of having that time for the ad,
Mhm.
I cut it down to like a minute before just for time, but with indie we took our first break in the middle of it.
Oh,
And
that's right. You did.
and so for the YouTube and audio version, I cut out the break and I was like, "Ooh, I get to actually edit things."
Congrats. You did it. You edited. Edited is such an awful word to say.
It is. It doesn't roll off the tongue very
No,
well.
and like my speech impediment hates it.
You bring that up, and I've never noticed that you've had a speech impediment at all
I
until you mention
went,
it.
yeah, I went through 6 years of speech therapy. You can hear it a little bit in like some of the words I say with like how like my S's and stuff are formed, but for the most part, we got her gone, besties.
Hey, there we go. So, as I like starting this out and everything, you've been in watching a couple of the episodes I know in
I
chat,
have.
so you've got the formula down a little bit, and so we always start with what console or I think I'm going to modify this question a little bit. Like what system, console, arcade cabinet, what got you into gaming?
My first system, it wasn't mine, it was my mom's boyfriend's at the time, and it was a
Hey,
PlayStation 1. And PlayStation has been my dominant console of choice like my whole life up until I like was able to switch over to PCs.
that's
And I'll
fair.
say PlayStation supremacy. PlayStation 2 has an era of gaming I cannot explain it, of all these like weird like out there titles that no one discusses or like has even heard about. The Xbox does not have. I'm just saying. It's like anyone was allowed to make a PlayStation game and they just said, "Yeah, for sure, here you go."
Well, and so if we get talking about like the big console war, which I always hate, like
I mean,
if you
either way, it's whatever.
it's
Which man you gonna pay?
yeah, it's whatever you want to do and whatnot. And like if you talk about DC or Marvel comics or any of those, I'm always been Poland. I've always been neutral party, sitting in the background, being like,
Like, I'm
okay,
not gonna lie, I don't care much for like any of the superhero stuff, but
yeah,
I probably like Marvel stuff more, but it's not like a bias towards Marvel. I just I really like Spider-Man, okay?
yeah. But for me, like I've always been on the fence line, especially with PlayStation and Xbox, because I grew up with a PlayStation 2 and 3, and then we
Mhm.
also in between that time had an Xbox 360.
Yeah.
I think we got it off my cousin. And for me, Xbox always had better multiplayer games, while PlayStation for the longest time had those better solo experiences.
It's really funny. Maybe it wasn't just exclusive games either, but like I always just grew up playing with my brother. Like for the most part, most of my games were multiplayer, I felt like, but I also can't speak on the Xbox experience.
Yeah, so and then I also find it interesting with you so far, like I've already found a variable that's different than everyone I've talked to. And your gaming history starts with the PlayStation
It
1,
does.
which it comes late into a lot of gaming history.
It does, but like I was still like 3 years old at the time whenever I was playing it.
I forget.
So like 3, 4 years old, I was on the PS1. Specifically playing, it was a Spider-Man game. Because I
Hey,
used to say Spyro was my first game, but it was actually a really old, like, I remember it vividly, and, like, swinging on the webs and thinking, oh man, this is the coolest thing. This is, see, look, my thing with Spider-Man, we don't have to get into it.
yeah. So we just got a Peter Parker stand. It's all right.
It's true, it's factual. I know what I like, and it hasn't changed.
And that's definitely why we have the shows to because because what I've learned from you, Gab, is exactly that sentence of you know what you like and
Yeah.
you stick with it.
And, like, I try other things, and I go, yeah, I guess, but...
like what was it's the community night the cabin did before, it was like the last one you guys did right before I joined, and it was the like multiplayer survival game in the snow
Yeah.
that messed up
the
everyone's
one that
computers
didn't go well at all.
and messed up everyone's computers.
Mine was fine.
Hey, that's what counts, right?
Yeah, mine was fine. Maddie's whole sound system was just messed up, but we don't have to get into that.
Yeah, we don't have to get into that. But I remember just like listening to your stream on it, just you going, I don't care for this. This is fun because it's with people I know and it's with the cabin members, but I don't like this.
Yeah, I was like, maybe this isn't it. And look good in theory, but like, mid.
So we got Spider-Man right at the beginning then, and
Mm-hmm.
for me, I remember having a PlayStation 1 at my uncle's and my grandpa's when I talked with my brother about my gaming history and getting my facts straight, because that's something that came up. He doesn't remember one being at grandpa's, but I remember it being at grandpa's because I remember playing one of the original Splinter Cell games on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then my Uncle Boo, I remember it was hunting games or it was fishing games. It was I live in Southern Ohio and this is what adults decide gaming need to be.
All games, for some reason, I felt like as a kid, before I learned the deep expanse of like different games, I felt like every game was just focused around shooting, and that was not what I wanted. I was a girl with bad aim. I needed a different kind of game than just a pew pew, kill the person. Anyone who has seen me stream can attest. I vibe during shooting parts, but I am not doing well.
Now I just want to play a shooter with you. That's what I've learned.
I'll show you my Far Cry gameplay after this. I'm going back to that. I've been playing that on the side since I got it the other night. For free, by the way. Dare I say, for free.
Ooh, did you get it gifted or Amazon?
Well, no, remember, I think I was talking to you and Indy. I can't remember now. I was talking to two people at least. But either way, Far Cry is on Epic Games for sale right now, by the way, for $3 for anyone that wants to know, on Epic. And so I was like, sure, I'll get it. And I went to buy it, and I guess I had Epic Cash, and so I didn't pay anything.
Hey, those are the best games, though. If it's not being gifted, those are the best games when you find surprise money.
Yeah, and let me tell you, Far Cry, loved that game. That was one of the first games I willingly played as a shooter, I'd say.
Okay. So yeah, we've got device grilled cheese. Wow, right off the bat we are hitting with the grilled cheeses.
We're doing great.
We're doing great. It's not like I worked 6 hours today or anything.
Hey, I also worked crazy.
Hey, so other than Spider-Man, what games do you remember from the beginning eras of your joystick journey? Since yours isn't filled with cartridges, yours is filled with discs.
Mine's filled with discs, very scratched up discs and turtle wax. Because did you ever try that? We would like mess up all of our discs. Eventually, like they would get like little scratches, and if they weren't too bad, you could do turtle wax on it.
No,
and it would help fill. Yeah.
Oh, see,
In fact, if they weren't bad enough, I could restore my game enough so that it wouldn't jump all over that one random cutscene and then glitch the whole game out.
We always, because we took them to our Hollywood Video or Game Crazy. And they had the service,
like the disc cleaners.
The disc cleaner that would 50-50 fix it or not.
Yeah, it's the same concept, like it's just filling it and hoping that like the laser hits it right.
All right, so what games are we going back here for, Gab?
Everyone knows I brought my journal with me. I've been writing stuff down. I showed Caleb earlier.
Gab's been doing research.
I have, okay? I have ADHD. I can't remember things, Caleb. But no, beyond that, I specifically remember it was of Spyro. Oh, the main trilogy, anything past the first 3 sucks. I'm just gonna say that. Fuck Skylanders. Okay, moving on.
Throwing shade at Skylanders. Let's go.
I'm just saying, I didn't know that was Spyro at first. I did not recognize Spyro in that.
The first one is it's Skylanders, and then it's subtitles Spyro's Adventure. I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well,
And so
I
it's
only
not even
saw
like
Skylanders.
it's not even a full like Spyro game, but it's in his world, which they butchered
and I
to
remember
death.
I used to walk in high school. I used to walk into the GameStop, and they would have a huge display for it, and I would go, ugh. I'm like, they don't know Spyro. But no, the first 3. That first off, platforming, terrible at it.
All
Me
right,
at 5 years old, platforming.
even worse.
My mom had to come in and like figure it out for me. My mom does not play games.
Oh my god! So Gab's not good at shooters, and Gab's not good at platformers. What games can I just throw Gab at now? That's the fun question.
I mean, listen, I'm better at platformers, and you'll see through my early games there were a lot of platformers, so I was forced to get good at them to a degree.
Okay.
But there was that. There was the Jack series, like Jack and Daxter and the Precursor Legacy.
Yeah.
I played that because my brother got into it, and hyperfixation. Jack was my hyperfixation probably all through elementary. He was probably my sexual awakening as a child. I loved him. What can I say? There's something about the silent brooding type. He was a green flag, by the way, in the first game. He was not a walking red type. And that is my typical type, but like, I chose a green flag early on.
So I love that because I went back. So I didn't have the Jack series growing up, beginning. I went back and played it whenever they started doing it on PlayStation 3 and 4 for like the virtual titles that you could stream at like 20 FPS. And they take that, man, and they just go, no, you don't get to be happy anymore. You
No.
get to be practically Batman with this fun sidekick.
Yeah, like Daxter, you know, he might be annoying, but that kid, he keeps the game up. That's for sure. Because it's like the first game, you're optimistic. The world's bright. There are warm tones. After that, it's just death and destruction and nothing good for you. The end, and everything you love dying in front of you.
Exactly.
And then no answer to the game because they stopped making onto the main series, and it's Ratchet and Clank's fault.
Yeah, and as much as I am a major Ratchet and Clank
I love
fan,
Ratchet and Clank. I played the first one and was obsessed with it. Never it was like, out. But it's the reason that Jack and Daxter went to an early grave. Because that was profiting better, I'm pretty sure. And they had to move their whole team over to Ratchet and Clank to make 20 more Ratchet and Clank games.
Yeah, all of them with sexual innuendos in their names too, because they said, let's do this.
They really did, though.
Up your arsenal.
I know, because I remember as a kid thinking, like, that seems wrong.
There's something about it just doesn't flavor right, and and now we know.
Weird. But yeah, no, Jack and Daxter, I was so into I loved the storyline though. I'm a big like storyline gamer, I guess.
References to Persona now for sure.
Yeah, like exactly. So Persona was perfect because like I love a good story. I don't want to just go pew pew, haha, this person's dead, and on to the next mission. It's just not for me.
No, and I get that.
Bad aim.
See, I can get into like some of the shooters, like Call of Duty. I can get into every once in a while. I get on this weird itch for it.
Zombies.
I can do zombies.
Yeah.
And then
I can do Fortnite with friends, but beyond Fortnite, not so much.
Yeah, and it's like I get this weird itch for shooters. One of my weird guilty pleasures for video games, and I blame PlayStation Plus for it. I really blame PlayStation Plus, and it's sports games. Because
see, I played the football ones with my brother.
Yeah.
Hated every second of it.
See, I like the original NCAA and like Madden. And then, but like PlayStation started for a while, especially during COVID for whatever reason. And I think it's because, oh, you can't go outside, we'll bring the outside to you and let you play your sports. But they would do like every month a sports game with the 3 free games. And so I got this weird guilty pleasure of like, oh, I got a free sports game? And I'd spend months on it. And it's like, why did I do this? This is fun, but why?
I don't know enough about sports, I don't think, to actually get into the sports games.
It's how I've learned how most sports work.
I mean, I had siblings, I guess, that did sports, so like I had to know how it worked loosely.
Yeah.
But no, I wasn't the sports kid. I never was, and I don't think I ever will be.
Okay, so back to PlayStation, back to platformers. We've got the
Yeah.
Jack and Daxter series,
Okay, there's the
and
Jack and Daxter series.
your sexual awakening.
It was. Okay, I'm sorry, young Jack.
Yeah.
Okay, and now as an adult, Jack 2 Jack? Jack 3 Jack with the cropped hair? Oh my god. Okay, we need to move on. You were making me talk about things that this podcast is not about, Caleb.
Hey, it is an 18 plus podcast.
I know.
I flagged them explicit. And if we get stuck on a
That's fair.
topic, we get stuck on a topic.
But yeah, no, I had the biggest crush on him. Speaking of video game crushes, did you ever play the SSX series? It was the snowboarding one.
Yes, I
was 3, obsessed.
I had one of those demo discs that you used to get in like magazines.
I loved those demo discs.
And so the one I had that one of the snowboarding games of that series. It had 2 trailers for Burnout Paradise for whatever reason.
To make sure, in case you didn't like the first one.
Yeah, in case you didn't like the first trailer, which is mostly the music. And then secondly, oh, here, we're going to give you the cars now. And then it had a 3-hour timed demo of Shadow of the Colossus.
Okay.
And I used to be able to run through at least...
That's kind of fast for a demo.
Oh, yeah. And I used to be able to run through at least 3 of the bosses. Like, the first Colossus that it sends it to, and I think the Water Leviathan. And then depending on how I hit them, I could sneak one more in there. But I know my snowboarding game very well from that. From those lovely demo discs.
SSX3, specifically. Griff, he was like the 12-year-old blonde kid that was the crush on him. But either way, terrible. Absolute ass at racing games. To this day, still absolute ass at racing games. We'll never be good at them. Whatever. I can beat anyone on any peak in SSX3. To this day, I guarantee you give me like 10 minutes to like look at the tracks and remember, I'll beat you on any of them.
Heard. Okay.
Don't know why. Hyperfixation though.
So did you get I understand that you're a PlayStation girly. Did you do any mobile gaming with handhelds?
I mean, I had a DS. And specifically it was more, when I had DSs, I had like 2 DSs, and I had a Game Boy Advance.
Okay.
And I specifically remember, I don't remember any games off of my Game Boy Advance except for a Rugrats / All Grown Up game that I played religiously. I knew how to beat it in just a few hours. Like, I had it down to a formula.
You had it to the
Do
science.
I remember what it's called? No. But I played it all the fucking time.
Okay.
I did that. I mean, I played like a Pokemon game or 2, I know, like on my DS. I'm trying to remember what else I had on there now, and I just can't. Like, you know, I did Cooking Mama. She made me feel bad. I didn't play a lot of Cooking Mama. That woman yelled at me a lot.
Can't cook eggs right. Mama's angry.
I'm sorry! I had like this like Hello Kitty Island Adventure type game. It wasn't, I don't know what it was called, but it was like a Hello Kitty resort game. That was really fun. I gotta decorate things. My DS really could have been put to better uses than what it was, but I don't remember many games off of it at all, which is kind of crazy.
So you're primarily console gaming until PC hit.
Yeah, and well, I played the PSP or like the portable.
Yeah, PSP.
The PSP port, yeah. And I only played that for one game.
Yeah.
Do you want to guess what game it was?
I'm gonna guess either a Jack game or Kingdom Hearts. Because those
wrong. It was Persona 3 Portable.
Oh yeah, because it was originally a portable port, wasn't it?
No, they made it into that. The current Persona 3 Reload is ported from the portable game because they added an extra dialogue and stuff, and you had the chance to be a female main character in it.
Ah, okay.
And I romanced the shit out of Akihiko naturally.
Okay.
And, like, if you ever see my Persona, like, streams, I still need to finish that. All I do is complain about how, oh man, it's a shame I can't kiss these boys.
Because they got rid of
My
being
other
able to play a
game,
female pro tag, right?
it was only in that one version did they let you, and it didn't change much, but like the UI changed to pink from blue, and like it changed like and switched social links from some of the girls to some of the boys on the team, and it just gave you like new storylines, and I thought that was really cute and fun.
Okay. So, so I'm guessing that you went from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2 then.
Yeah, and then right on to PlayStation 3 slash the Wii era.
Okay. Okay, so I remember like literally as we were sitting here talking about it and talking about PlayStation 1, I was trying to think of some like bigger games for PlayStation 2.
Mm-hmm.
Have you heard of the game Whiplash?
I I feel like I've heard of it, but I definitely never played it.
So Whiplash is this weird, kooky game. It's by Crystal Dynamics, which I don't even think is a developer anymore.
No idea.
And it's it's partially platformer. It's a partial action game is one of its main
Mm-hmm.
classifications. But you're a weasel and a rabbit that is chained together,
Oh no.
and you're trying to escape this facility that was experimenting on you. And so,
Okay.
like, the rabbit's super intelligent and snarky, and the weasel's dumber than a bag of bricks.
Oh, perfect. I'm the weasel.
And and so, like, you could go through, and there's like elemental effects, but like you use the weasel to use them. And so, like, when you
Mm-hmm.
use the fire one, it's the weasel on fire, and you're swinging him around with the chain.
No.
This game was, I remember, it was like one of those first like crude games I remember
Yeah, yeah,
playing.
yeah.
It kind of not on the level of like Conker's Bad Fur Day crude,
Mm-hmm.
but it's
Yeah,
like one of
yeah.
those games where it's like there's a lot of jokes that I'm not getting, but the more I'm playing this as I got older, I'm understanding these jokes, and it's like, oh, buddy.
Yeah, I feel like I off the top of my head I can't think, but I know watching my older brother play games, that was definitely a lot. Bully taught me that
Bully.
that was another I can fix him. Like I'm like I can fix him. I have a crush on Jimmy a little bit as a kid. I'm not gonna
Gab.
lie.
Gab. That's not okay.
No, okay, but listen, he becomes the good guy by the end of the game. And I was a tormentor. I did so well that I unlocked all the cheat stuff at the end, like without having to cheat for it.
I don't. This is not a good like representation of your choice in guys growing up. I'm gonna say this like.
Have I ever told you? Listen, my taste in human men impeccable.
I
Video game men give me a walking red flag. I'm not going for that in real life. I want a challenge.
want to challenge that,
I could fix him.
and I bet you tried hard too, didn't you?
I did. I made him look real cute because eventually, like, you go to this barber once you unlock different sections of the game. The further you got in, I got him like a cute outfit and some cute hair. He still like was rough, but like he was the good guy at the end. You unite the school.
Okay, so we've got Bully for your PlayStation 2 era. What's some other ones we've got in there? Or if you want to
Oh,
jump back to PlayStation
I got
1.
more. I got another one.
Oh god.
Sly Cooper. The
Yeah.
Sly Cooper series.
Yeah, Fantastic
Obsessed.
Suits.
Yeah,
Absolute
fantastic series. Wish it could have kept going on and like that it didn't have to end the way that it did because there was definitely more to that story. And I know like there was a lot of issue with like the company and like it getting bought out and tossed around.
Yeah. Sly
Had a crush on Sly.
that doesn't surprise me. At least he's
No.
decent.
Yeah, he's like, is he bad? Yeah, but like for good reasons.
Yeah, he's a Robin Hood. He's a
Yeah,
raccoon
exactly.
Robin Hood with a hook.
We love it. We
Uh,
love vigilante shit.
I was a big Sly Cooper fan. So like
Mhm.
that era of like PlayStation mascots I remember very vividly because you had Sly,
Yeah.
you still had Crash making appearances every once in a
Yeah.
while. Spyro definitely died off to the wayside. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Well, I mean, they kept making games, but
He died. And then
he died.
and
Rest
then
in
Ratchet
peace.
and Clank was again one of those big ones I remember playing through
Mhm.
the PlayStation 2 era. Um and I'm gonna ask this question because I remember it being PlayStation had a lot more access to them because as you said, everyone just looked at PlayStation and went, hey, can we make a game?
I swear they were the most crazy games
They
for
had
PlayStation.
they had the biggest amount of shovelware I remember, for sure.
Mhm.
And So what was one of the first like vivid M-rated games you remember playing on the PlayStation?
The Suffering.
I don't know that one.
I didn't play it myself. I have another follow-up one to this afterwards because I do have one that I got myself. But there was a game called The Suffering, and it was PlayStation 2. It was my brother's game, and he was so afraid to play it that he made me sit in the room with him.
Oh
Because he
wow.
told me that years later. That it's like I was afraid to play it. And I'm like, I was terrified to watch you, and I was very vocal about this. But, like, I'm trying to remember because it's absolutely terrifying in my little kid brain. But you're, like, in a prison and they're doing experiments on you and it's turning them into monsters and you're having to like break out and like these people things are like mutants like the other prisoners are and they've been like tortured and it's like I think
Okay.
the whole time you're trying to like figure out because I think you killed like your wife and child. I think is why you're there for whatever reason. It's like unlocking that
Yeah.
mystery and you trying to escape this prison that is like literally caving in on itself with like mutants trying to murder you.
Okay.
Horrifying.
I will definitely have to check that one
I
out. That's for sure.
specifically remember because it was one and it had like a syringe in each hand and it was only the torso up and they would drop down from the ceiling and just come crawling after you.
Oh God.
It was terrible, Caleb. I
Oh,
hated every second of it.
so I know you were here for all of Indies, and we've talked my lack of horror experience.
Yeah.
Um, that sounds like it would have given child Caleb absolute nightmares for sure.
Yeah, and like I was so interested at the same time because I'm like a morbid kid and I
Yo,
wanted
yeah,
but I'm a baby back bitch.
we heard it here first,
I'm
folks.
a baby back bitch, honestly and truly, till the day I die. I'll die. I'll let everyone know. I don't care. I want to play scary games, and I just can't.
That's fair.
Bringing up to Fatal Frame 2 as my other like rated M game that I tried to play by myself for the first time.
See, mine's not horror in the aspect of everything going on
Yeah.
around you. I remember, of course, Vice City, Grand Theft Auto,
Hmm.
and San Andreas. Those two definitely
Yeah,
come to mind.
my mom didn't know much about games, but she knew Grand Theft Auto, and I was not allowed to play Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah. And then my big one that I remember very vividly that was like, this is an M-rated game, and like this is one of the
Hmm.
ones that's like, no, this is a mature game that I should not be playing, but I'm enjoying
Yeah,
every moment of it. The Manhunt series, if you
I
know
didn't
it.
play that. I don't.
So Manhunt, you play a guy. I think he has schizophrenia. I'm not
Hmm.
100% sure, but you absolutely brutalize people in it.
Oh God.
Like it is like you are because I think what the one of the schizophrenic things is like it makes you a serial killer. And
Okay, of
and
course.
and so the police and stuff are looking after you, and so you kind of give into it, and the the animations for just the kills from everything from like a screwdriver to a plastic bag to I remember like you'd get a gun every once in a while, and they made the
Hmm.
gun kills absolutely brutal. And
Oh
it's like
God.
and
Yeah, no, I know nothing on that.
and then they made a second one, and they just
Of
dialed it
course.
up even more. And it's like, what is this game, and why am I a 13-year-old playing it right now? This is not good for the mental health.
Yeah, my mom was not going to be signing off, unfortunately, on anything that said that it was rated M. Anything that wasn't like until I was in high school, and I could be like, it's rated M because I have a gun, and mom would be like, okay, and then just be like, yeah, she can get it.
Yeah. But I definitely remember Vice because Vice City's my favorite Grand Theft Auto. I could
Hmm.
sit and play Vice City because it also has it's one of the great it and 5 has the two greatest stories in my opinion for Grand Theft Auto
Five
games.
was five was the first one I ever actually got to sit down and own and play on my own. Fun fact.
I'm happy for you.
Yeah, that. It took all the way to 5, but I was
Y-
finally allowed to like. I was 18 when it came out, so I was like, "Fuck you, Sarah! I get to play Grand Theft Auto." I'm like, now drive me up to the GameStop so I can get Grand Theft Auto.
That's great. Um, but yeah, so that's definitely one of my vivid memories now. I really think about it. So I know we've mentioned Persona
Hmm.
and JRPGs. There's one for the PlayStation 2 that my brother was borrowing from a kid in high school that it was a JRPG. It had like
Hmm.
sailing mechanics to it that was like kind of
Okay.
advanced wars type of like tacticalness to it.
Hmm.
But the one reason I can't remember the name of it, but the one reason I remember it is because you can soft lock the game intentionally.
Oh. Okay.
And it's at a certain point you guys get stuck on an island, and after you've spent like 3 to 4 in-game days there, you can make the decision to just live there with your party members. And
Okay.
but when you do that, you just go through like the same mini game mechanics of you'll do a tactical fight every once in a while, like
Hmm.
standard JRPG, but you'd go through the same just day mechanics over and over again. And because at the end of every day you saved, you could soft lock your game. But the best part is they got rid of like the really high detailed anime portraits for the
Hmm.
text boxes and replaced them like these crude pencil drawings of the
Oh my
characters.
god.
And it's like, what happened here? Wait a minute, what?
Something's not right. This isn't the game I was just playing.
And so like you could complete you and you would have to start up from the very beginning again because it would fully just soft lock the game.
That's kind of funny. That's really funny, actually.
And I wish I could remember the name of that game to save my life because I want to go back and just either find a clip of it to show people and be like, look what this game does, or just see if I can get an emulator of it at some point
Yeah,
and
because
just
I
play
have.
through it.
Yeah, no, because I kind of want to know. I want to soft lock a game and then have to restart it just because I'm stinky like that.
That
But
would be
no, I
something
think
you'd do.
it would be just for funsies, just so they, I soft locked it. Now what? But no, I think the only other like JRPG that I was ever really into, especially around that time, was like Tales of the Abyss.
Good series.
I got only the one specific one, but like I got so into that for like I don't know how long. I know I beat it. Do I remember the ending? No, I was in high school. But it took me a lot. It took me multiple tries too, because it was like I got stuck somewhere and then gave up and came back to the game like 6 months later, and then didn't remember where I was and had to fully restart it.
Dude, that story right there, that's me with the Witcher 3.
That happened to me with Kingdom Hearts also.
Oh, I'm
The
sorry.
first time I played it.
Kingdom Hearts is just a slew if you have to restart some of the early ones for sure.
But no, no, no. Because see, I do this in games because I get impatient and I just try to rush fights and I don't focus on leveling. And then that's why I end up getting stuck and mad. And I'm like, it's just restart again. Happened to me the first time I played Persona 3.
That's fair.
Yeah, I got almost to where I am now in the game.
Okay.
Like maybe like a moon or two before, it's like the first fight you're allowed to have Shinji on your team, and I couldn't get past it, period, because I was not leveled enough. And
uh
I learned the hard way that I had to replay those 40 hours the right way.
oh, my heart
But look,
hurts.
yeah, but then look, I'm a better gamer now because of it.
Hey, there we go.
I
Learning
mean,
lessons.
am I learning the lessons? Do I
Oh,
still continue to do this in games? Did I do this in Baldur's on my first playthrough because I rushed through?
yeah, Gab.
Maybe. Yeah. Did I? Oh my, did I get all the way to Act 3 in Baldur's Gate and realize I fucked up?
Oh,
No, no, I didn't do that. We're fine though. I've beaten the game now though, and I learned, and now I'm a better gamer because of it.
did you learn though? That's what this whole premise was. Have you
I
learned?
learned how to play the game
Uh,
correctly.
there we go. That's the
Mm-hmm.
lesson here. Learning how to play the game correctly.
Yeah, and not just the Gab way because you want to kiss the vampire man.
I like that our general topic for you is just video game crushes right now. Like that is
They
I
shouldn't put cute characters into video games if
no
they don't want me to have crushes on them. I'm
that's
just saying.
that's the selling point though.
Exactly, and then you don't want me to have a crush on the red flag character? That's your problem, not mine.
And then I've got a bunch of damsel in distresses or people that's like, ma'am, step on me, and it's like, no, wait, no, don't like that. Never mind. uh
Yeah, unfortunately, the games left me flirt with these men for real in the game, and they reciprocated. And I'm like, why would you ever allow that? Now
what
I'm not gonna play the game right.
Why would you let this why would you give me emotional attachment?
Yeah, now I'm attached to this conglomerate of pixels, and I think he's cute.
I'm surprised you don't play more dating sims.
Dating sims aren't really it for me. I don't know. I can't explain it. Maybe it's because I like turning real games into dating sims. Dating sims to me are just like too texty and ready. I
Yeah.
feel maybe that's a big issue. And I like the other components in the game still. I like going and like saving Faerun or whatever, but also having my little like side piece there with me.
I like that we just
It
called a story on a
enhances the game.
side piece of all things.
Yeah. Actually, I can look over and see him. He's one of my backgrounds. He looks great, in case you're wondering.
I need to check because I noticed that you use the wallpaper, whatchamacallit, on
Oh yeah,
Steam.
wallpaper engine.
Yeah.
Just get it. Just get
Well,
it.
I use it. I need to go back through and see if they've added any Karlach.
Oh, they've added so many since Baldur's first release because I could barely find any.
Yeah, I've
Of
got a
like even just
Shadowheart
like
one.
him.
I've got a
Okay.
Shadowheart one. It was the only one I could find of just a singular character. I'm like, I like Shadowheart, but okay.
And I'm like, do I really want Princess Shard as my background though?
Shard.
It's her
So,
name,
no,
not my fault.
I love that. That's something I bring up, and I love bringing it up for the fact of the idea that what the internet does to games, and especially our generation of internet.
Like we just enhanced them. What are you talking about?
We mean the absolute hell out of them. And
How do you not beam out of it? You know what I mean?
oh
Like how do
yeah.
you not?
Oh, and like so you have Bethesda known for their glitches,
Hmm.
and now we have with Baldur's Gate we
Glitch.
have Shard and all the other fun names that we have for everyone
There's so
else.
much. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I get a little offended when people call Lady Zelda Toad Lady or a Froglet Woman. I'm like, she is not. She is a Gith Yankee, and you are being racist.
But they're based off of toads.
They are like an alien species, though. Leave her alone. She doesn't even look like a frog. She just doesn't have a nose. It's giving Voldemort.
Is that better?
No, but like, that's not a frog, now is it?
You sure? Because Voldemort's a pretty big red flag, and if we're going on your role for fictional characters.
Look, we're just gonna stay away from the turf's work real quick. We're not gonna dive into Harry Potter and my conflicting feelings on that.
Yeah, that's not a stone
That's
I'll touch.
a whole other bucket of worms. We can't.
Unless we bring up Hogwarts Legacy and actually go into an in-depth conversation on it.
I don't even want to talk about that game because it is opening up conversation.
Yeah. So,
Like a much different conversation that I did not prepare myself for today.
so we'll round it back.
Yeah.
We'll spin the wheel of time backwards a little bit.
Yeah.
PlayStation 2 games, Gab. What'd you have?
Okay, I have the most obscure game that you have never heard of. And if anyone in the chat's heard of this,
We'll be
this
impressed.
was mine and and it turns out it was one of my sister's favorite games because she would play it when I wasn't home because she would see me playing it. And I thought that was really interesting because she didn't play games. But it's called My Street.
Wait.
And you're like a new kid that just moves onto a block, and each like house has a different mini game where the kid like another kid lives, and you have to like make friends before summer's over. And like the first mini game to conquer is like you have to like win at marbles, and like you have to like make money by doing chores around the house. And
This sounds super wholesome. What the hell?
yeah, no, well, I mean, then like there are other kids, and like one of the kids like because you go to her tree house, and like she's the first one. It was a very wholesome, cute game, you know.
Yeah.
And like on one side of your house, like there was a farmer that lived there, and so like they had like a game where you had to like round up the chicken animals, and like your other neighbor for some reason had a beach.
No, I'm not letting that one
Like
slide.
I said, chicken animals.
The
Oh,
chicken
sorry.
animals.
Because it was mostly chickens, but there were other like barn animals that were involved in it. But it was mostly like herding the chickens.
Okay.
And like then your other neighbor on the opposite side of you somehow had a beach in their backyard. And like
Alrighty.
and they had to do volleyball there. And like it was very weird and drastically different games. You had to work your way around and like do them favors so that you could like take on their game. And it was a timed game, so you actually had only like X amount of in-game time to like days to beat it.
Yeah. I decided with
You're
this
looking
one.
it up, aren't you?
I would decide to look up games that I talked about just in case I wanted to put
Mhm.
like a picture in the chat for both of us,
Yeah.
or just on, or if you brought up something.
Like My Street.
Yeah, like My Street here, which, oh my god, this is a peak PlayStation 2 graphics, first of all.
Right? We're
Like,
not talking about that. And how you gotta customize your own character? Oh my god, fuck me up.
but I like that they classify it as a party game in the same.
Yeah, it was multiplayer. You could do a
Yeah,
multiplayer mode on it for sure.
it included 7 mini games, which were volleyball, RC racing, marbles, dodgeball,
Dodgeball was the last one, fun fact.
chemistry,
Yeah, Tetris. It was Tetris.
chicken herding,
Yep, chicken herding.
and lawnmowers.
Oh yeah, lawnmower races, baby.
In in its E3 2002 gameplay reveal, there was going to be an 8th game mode that was a cornfield maze, but it was cut before release.
Oh my god, there's a cornfield behind the farmer's house. I bet that would have been so cute. Sorry, I'm just thinking about it.
No, this is what this is though. Because
that would have been so cute. I loved that game though, and like whenever I got too scratched up to play, I was devastated.
Oh,
I sold it at a yard sale for $1.
Man, back when you could sell games and jip people.
Yeah, it was $1. Get over it. And then my sister turned out years later, she yelled at me for selling it. I'm like, it was my game that I bought. And she's like, yeah, but I played it. I'm like, when? You played no games. But it turns out when I was gone, she would like play the PlayStation in my room. And that was one of the only games she was good at and enjoyed. I'm like, well, you broke it. So someone didn't put it in the case and it wasn't me.
If someone didn't put it in the case and it wasn't me. God, if that's not a phrase I heard in my house multiple times with me and my brother.
Because how did my Fatal Frame 2 game get messed up? My brother fucked it up, and I was terrified of that game, but I was mad because I was determined to maybe get at least halfway through it one day. The progress was not far on that, Caleb. I was terrified of that game. I would watch people play it, and I'd know what ghosts were coming up, and I'd be like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm having an anxiety attack. I'm sitting in the dark upstairs by myself while my whole family sleeps, and I'm playing a game being attacked by ghosts.
You know, those are the childhood memories that really, really stick with us.
Yeah. And let me tell you, I had dreams about those ghosts. Like, I'd wake up at night, and, like, the light would be hitting something in my room just ominously enough. I'd be like, huh, for a second. And did I stop watching and play? Not at all.
No, why would you?
No, but, like, was I okay? Not at all.
Alright, so we've definitely touched into the horror games, which, again, that has been a newer experience for me for sure, is horror games.
I love watching. I just can't play them.
Like, I remember definitely middle school, high school era, especially early YouTube. I remember early Markiplier's Amnesia playthroughs.
Absolutely. I watched PewDiePie play it.
I couldn't watch PewDiePie. You
know, I will say, PewDiePie as a person now is actually very weirdly wholesome.
Yeah. Which, good for him, glad for him.
Yeah.
Major successor and all that jazz, but, like, I remember...
Yeah. But no, Markiplier is probably my favorite out of, like, the big gamer ones, though. I like that big three.
Markiplier and Jack were my two, for sure. And
Mark
then...
just, like, he was yelling, but his voice was so calming as he yelled.
Yeah. And then, like, horror games, like, especially when we start getting into, like, my later high school years or early college, I remember playing, it was super popular. You're in asylum, you have the camcorder, you're a journalist. I mean, I know this is describing literally any horror game from the last decade and a half. But, it got thank you, Vinny, Outlast.
Outlast, okay, yeah. I never played Outlast. I've seen people play it, though.
Terrifying, not a fun time.
Oh, yeah. And you can't fight them back. That's the worst part.
And then Soma. I played through Soma, but it's more of psychological horror than it is regular horror.
You weren't around when I went through the Five Nights at Freddy's games, or you.
I was not.
It was like last December, and let me tell you, I was shitting myself on stream for like a whole month. I gave up at game 4. I said, we're done. I did like the first 3, we're fucking done.
Fair, because then you just keep going, and you keep going, and you keep going.
There's too much lore?
Matt Pat did his time, and they still ringed him back out of retirement for an episode.
I know, and they're just gonna keep adding more lore. Matt Pat can't retire, and he knows it. Not from Five Nights at Freddy's.
No. But Soma was really good because it was more thought provoking than it was horror.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started doing every month, every October, which is my birthday month. Good gift to myself, I guess. I started doing like
Yeah.
throughout that whole month, I'd play horror games.
See,
And
I'm thinking about doing that, but
I was gonna
I
do
don't
it.
know if I can commit to it or not.
I was gonna do it for this October for sure. Um, and then like Layers of Fear was really good.
I did play that. I played it. Actually, Dylan and I sat down together, and cause I made Dylan play it with me. I was terrified. It was scary. I would hand him the controller a lot.
I want to play the second one because I'm a big cinema buff, and the second one's
Mm-hmm.
based more on cinema than it is on.
Yes, I haven't looked into the second yet.
And then one of them that really sticks out in my mind because it's not a full horror game, and it's a horror game and it's a shooter, and the
Mm-hmm.
story's convoluted as hell,
Oh God,
and it
perfect.
and it's called Get Even.
I don't know that one.
So I got it free through, like most of my games of recent time,
Mm-hmm.
especially horror games. Got it free through PlayStation Plus,
You'd love a free game.
and one part of the game you're in an asylum because that's what we like doing for horror games.
Of course, yeah. What else? Where else would you be?
Exactly. And they're doing like sleep studies. And they're doing sleep studies on patients to help with memory recognition.
Mm-hmm.
So you're a when you first start up the game, you're a detective that's going to this asylum because a bunch of people died.
Okay. Yeah. Naturally.
So midway through this game, after you do a couple puzzles and stuff, you then you open up into a park, and you're a detective. You're still the same detective, but you've learned that you're a patient in the asylum trying to
Oh.
go through your memories to solve a cold case that you were on.
Oh.
And
Oh
so
no.
so like the entire tone shifts and it becomes more of a stealth shooter. And then there's one part that I remember so vividly from playing it because it was one of those moments where I just sat there and I paused the controller and I went, "What the fuck?" And you open up into another like big like metro park in the middle of like a downtown city. And when you start going through it, it sounds like a cell phone's ringing. And I honestly,
Mm-hmm.
like, I checked my cell phone the first time because it was like, wait, what? Okay, why is my ringer on, first of all? And then as you start going through it, it breaks out into this, like, super high energy pop song that has
Okay.
that cell phone ringtone as, like, the bass loop for it.
Oh no.
And it's like super peppy and catchy and like really fun as you're just mowing down enemies because each of the enemies represent your brain trying to repress the memory.
Okay. Oh man, that's
And
too much.
oh,
That's too much.
it is a wild ride. It is like one of those bad movies that's good of a video
Mm-hmm.
game. So I would definitely suggest playing it just for the monotony of it. But you go through
Yeah.
that level and you hear this song like it first blasts in your ear and then as you go through the level it you hear it still in the background. And I used to play with my headphones on all the time with my
Yeah.
PlayStation.
Yeah.
Um and with Get Even, it just like you would just hear it very subtly in the back of your head. Well, at the ending cutscene for that level, it went through, and the reason you remember it is it because it's the person who dies that you're trying to solve the murder for.
Oh.
It's her ringtone when you met her in real life, like
Okay.
days before she died, and I'm just like, wait a minute here. That's the only
Wait a
reason this is
minute.
here because you remember her ringtone, and it's like
Apparently.
just one of those earworm things. That's just like, okay, this was like, and it was like after I finished, like this was a game. This was a game that I played, and I don't know if I enjoyed it or hated it.
I think like, oh man, yeah, puzzle games killed me.
Puzzle games are a
I
time.
don't know. I want to be into puzzle games, but I get so mad playing them off stream. I can only imagine how frustrated I would get playing them on stream. I think I yell enough, you know? I think I'm like constantly screaming enough over dumb things that aren't hard, and I'm just
Dead by Daylight.
me. Yes! Dead by Daylight. I don't know. Have you seen me just getting impatient in any other game? Did you see me play? Anything. Anything. Name a game I haven't yelled at.
I don't think I've seen you yell at Stardew Valley.
Oh no, I'm yelling at Stardew all the time. I'm yelling at Lewis. I'm yelling at Clint. I fucking hate Demetrius. No, no, no. Trust me, I'm yelling. I fuck Shane.
Wait, why do you hate Demetrius?
He's a bad fucking husband and stepdad.
Okay, fair. No, you got me there.
Even a bad dad, actually. That's just bad dad, period.
Bad dad.
Clint thinks a woman deserves his attention just because he likes her.
Yeah.
Sorry about it, Clint. Get out of here. You're fucking creepy.
So I started doing before I started fully streaming, I was doing a solo run on Stardew to get ready for the update. And I started doing Emily's storyline. All of the Clint interactions with that, it's like, buddy.
She's everywhere. Man is just watching her from the bushes, and it's like, it's not cute, it's creepy.
It's creepy because, like, I think...
I'm a good guy if you give me a chance. No good guy says that.
no good guy says that, first of all. Secondly, I think, like, in-game age-wise for,
like, he gives off old.
Well, he's like 40-something, and Emily's like around the bachelor age, which I think is 20, like early to mid-20s, except for
old enough
Harvey.
To be in the bar and like drinking.
Yeah,
but like in her 20s, she is like in her mid-20s in my mind.
Yeah, and so it's just like, bud, I know it's slim pickings. I come from a rural town where everybody knows everyone.
Yeah. But look, the alternative blue hair girl isn't always for you, okay? I know that you want her, but like she's not for everyone.
She's not for everyone, and just because she likes rocks for her esoteric things, and you like rocks because it's your profession, doesn't mean that you have something in common there.
Yeah, because her cutscenes are fun and weird and trippy, and yours are depressing.
Yeah, and like, I want to go through and, like, friend Clint, but I also don't...
I refuse to do anything with that man.
I don't want to give him my
I even
resources.
have to go to him for him to open up my geodes and upgrade my tools. That's already too much Clint interaction in a Stardew run. I'm just gonna put that out there, okay? I'm a man hater, I'm sorry. Write better men.
Write better men. Who needs better written
Clint
women?
was clearly a man written by a man.
He was probably the, like, decrepit guy in the office after the team started building, and he's like, let me write Clint's dialogue. And they're like, why? Just let me write Clint's dialogue. Oh, okay, man, we're gonna let you write Clint's dialogue.
He's not gonna be a good dude, my dude, please.
Lewis is objectively, understandably, can be hated.
And Pierre. Fuck Pierre. Absolutely fuck Pierre, actually.
Okay, other than the fact that if you sell him really good quality product, he uses it in the one,
secrets from his wife.
So, enlighten me on that, because I actually haven't... So, with my Stardew stuff, I love my farming simulators. I grew up on Harvest Moon. I have, like...
Man's hiding something. It won't tell you what. But, like, there is a cutscene where you go into his and Caroline's room, and you find, like, a baggie, or his hidden stash is what it calls it. And he comes in, that man is like, you need to get out of here. You need to not be touching my stuff. And it is never spoken of again. He is fuming at you for, like, the next day.
So wait, is Pierre spoken the ganja?
It's that. It's something, though, that you are not supposed to tell his wife about.
Oh, man! Is Pierre a drug dealer?
I don't know. Like, there's a lot of, like, open-ended questions with that.
From? Who in town would
he can only be hiding it from his wife, clearly. He's like, Mike, is it nudie mags? Like, what do you got there, bud? You gotta chill.
And if it's drugs,
can't afford a PC?
Like, well, yeah. Does anyone in that town have a freaking computer? I don't think anyone in that...
one. You can get one.
Yeah, but it tells you farming stats, of all things.
Yeah, that you're a farm.
But, like, thinking about, like, who in the island would have drugs? Like, readily available drugs?
Shane.
Yeah.
Shane would have readily available drugs. Clint's definitely, like, doing something. I don't trust that fucker. Sam? Sam's smoking the good.
No,
Can't convince me.
Sam's definitely probably on the devil's lettuce for sure.
Emily's on something, but only whenever she goes to the desert to hang out with Sandy. But she's probably doing some like lesbian shit there too. But that's beside the point. Once again, another reason Clint can't have her. Because what, her and Sandy? You can't tell me that those two aren't in love.
Nah. I could definitely see Shane because he probably gets it from like a truck driver from Georgia.
Oh, absolutely. He gets it from a delivery guy. Emily's growing something of her own for sure, but no one's saying anything. Caroline's probably growing something, but
Robin probably does it occasionally.
Pierre's too dumb to notice.
Robin probably does it occasionally.
But she has to hide it from Demetrius. Because that man would not be cool with it.
No. Okay, no, see, that's where... It's because they're the only two orange-haired women in that whole game. I specifically meant Leah.
You're talking about Leah.
Yeah.
Leah, yeah.
Which
yeah,
is
Leah.
my peak interest choice of the Bachelorettes.
She's doing whatever wrong. Wizard, he's doing whatever the fuck. God knows what
you
he's
mean Abigail's dad?
Tower.
You mean
Abigail's dad. Abigail's real father.
Because we know what
Because Caroline was happy there. Oh no, but no, she's stuck with fucking Pierre.
She probably got too much flack because of the wizard.
I don't know why she doesn't. You don't have to kill the kids with a divorce. Like, that's not a thing, you know? Like, I do, but, like, she doesn't. I'm just saying.
Vinny told us to drink, by the way.
Oh, thanks, Vinny. I'm gonna need another water soon.
I might have to go refill soon, wow. And we've already blown through an hour. Wow, this is...
Yeah, okay.
Might
need to get that...
The flow for this
just saying, sorry, I'm just shit-talking video game characters at this point.
And I'm okay with it, though, you know? I mean, like, that's what... This is what gaming is. This is what a side of gaming is.
Oh, because... I just remembered another character I was in love with.
Yeah?
So back to Jack 2.
Back to Jack 2. Okay, back to Jack 2.
Back to Jack 2. Torn.
I'm gonna have to look him up.
Look him up. Look up Torn. Torn.
I hope that's how it's spelled. I'm sorry, Jack, but...
I'm just letting you... Hey, it's a Jack game. You don't know how shit's spelled.
Fair.
Names are made up. That man, everything. Along with Ashlyn.
Oh, he's just...
Everything.
He's just Jack with more tattoos.
He's the guy I want Ashlyn to be with. But that's not how the game ends. Now is it?
No, it's
Jack's
not.
supposed to be with if you want to complain, Jack's supposed to be with fucking Kira, and you're putting him with Ashlyn. That is not how that's supposed to go. They have been pining after each other for 3 games, and you're gonna give the kiss to fucking Ashlyn? I was 10-year-old me fuming watching that end scene. I was like, absolutely the fuck not. And my brother's like, what? And I'm like, that's not okay. Like, they were clearly in love with each other this whole time, and you're gonna tell me they don't get, after all the time travel and all the bullshit they put up with growing up together, he's gonna go to fucking Ashlyn Praxis? And, like, she's a baddie, don't get me wrong, but not the baddie for Jack.
Not the baddie for Jack, got it. He needs wholesome, not step on me vibes.
Look, the man already has enough step on me vibes, okay? Like... He needs something a little softer. Man's already too rough around the edges.
Someone needs to buff him out for sure.
Exactly, yes. Sorry, everything comes back to my crushes on Jack characters. Don't make him so cute. What can I say?
Don't make him so cute. What can I say? Quote, Gab 2024.
Quote me. Do it. I dare you. I stand by what I say.
I know you do. That's one reason I love you, Gab. Oh, man. I'm trying to... Like, because we've been talking about your video game crushes, and I'm trying to think of any of mine, and I'm just like... My brain can't think of any right off the full bat. Because Leah...
video games for different reasons, you and I.
Oh, we are definitely playing video games for different reasons. I think one of the biggest ones I remember, though, is from Star Fox Adventures for the GameCube. It was like it was the one spin-off one where it had a bunch of like the standard Star Fox on-rail shooter in the plane, but they did land missions where you could run around as Star Fox or Falco and actually do stuff. But Crystal, which is Star Fox's love interest from that game, that one's I come to mind, because why are we making anthropomorphic characters like this extremely hot?
Have you seen Carmelita Fox?
I mean,
Excuse you?
exactly.
Hot. So hot.
And it's just like, okay, this is the trend that we're getting now, and it's like,
I was okay with it. I wasn't complaining as a kid.
we didn't complain as kids. We just
No.
we enjoyed the
I
content.
just looked. I just looked. I looked and I enjoyed.
And if we're gonna count the Pokemon games, for sure, there's definitely a couple from there.
Damn, what Pokemon? What Pokemon you smashing?
Not Pokemon itself. No, God.
Okay, not the actual Pokemon. Have you ever played Smash or Pass with Pokemon?
Yes, it's a time.
Okay.
The ones that come to mind off the top of my head was Hoenn. They made just about any of the female gym leaders in Hoenn excessively hot. And it's like, Pokemon, why are we doing this? Pokemon, why are we doing this? And then, one of the big ones that come to mind is Flannery, who's the fire-type gym leader. I think the second fire-type gym leader we get.
Mm-hmm.
And
I need to look him up now.
Her.
1 second, let me. Her. Oh, my bad.
Sorry, we're in my realm here.
My bad.
And they give
okay, yeah.
Yeah, they give her cargo shorts, that crop top, and it's like, how can you not? And her town has a hot spring in it. Anime,
honestly, no, I would have. She's hot. Oh, by the way, I mentioned that I also just have so many female video game crushes too. I'm sorry, stop making everyone hot.
Oh my god, why is he hot?
Literally, stop.
He's handsome. Oh, Lordy Lou.
Me when Link wakes up at the beginning of Breath of the Wild, and it's just like, Link, wake up, and I see him sit up, and I went, damn, Link, you looking fine.
Link, buddy, what were you sleeping in? Because you were way too chiseled and not malnourished.
Look at you, bud, aren't you looking good? And I had to put armor on him, and that was unfortunate.
You didn't have to, but it made the game
right,
easier.
Okay, but those three hearts were not doing me any justice in the beginning, okay? That man needed some armor.
Man needed some AC.
He needed something, okay? I'm not a good... you see me play games, I'm not patient. You think I was taking out enemies early on? Absolutely not. And those bitches respawned? How unfucking fair. I killed you. Fuck the blood moon.
I love that these are your complaints about video games. Just, standard game mechanics that we've grown up with, we understand. You're just like, nope, not fair. Nuh-uh.
I don't like it. I'm over it. New game mechanic time. Thanks.
Give me enemies that stay dead.
Yeah, why the fuck are they coming back to life? I didn't go through all of Hyrule murdering everything for there to be a blood moon because I killed too much stuff in one day. Or
the current tribulation that you're going through, and I don't think you've gone back to yet, Elden Ring.
Oh my god, wow, that's a really nice ceiling I have in here.
It's
a good game. I need to practice that bitch offline. And what do I do instead of doing that? I buy new games.
You buy new games.
Far Cry 3. I buy Far Cry 3, and now I'm playing Far Cry 3.
One of the best of the Far Cry games, in my opinion.
It's the one that got me into the whole series. I think it outshines 4 and 5, personally. They're not bad games, but 3?
4...
Oh, here we go for video game crushes again.
Zaz?
Voss?
Oh, yeah, Voss.
One of my favorite walking red flags.
One of my favorite video game villains.
All of his insane... We did it!
Victories. OBS, thank you for letting me know that the reconnection is successful.
Thank you so much, OBS. Wow.
Who knows?
A+ team player.
Who knows what Ohio's doing to make it do that.
Fucking Ohio.
But yeah, Voss, one of my favorite villains in gaming history, for sure.
I love him. I can't help it. That mohawk did something to me in high school. Sorry, I can't not.
No, we're fine.
The tattoo that you get in that game, I want it. To this day, I still want that tattoo. That would be an expensive and painful one, but I want her.
That would be very expensive and very painful, and
very
you would have to find a really good artist for it, too.
I know, I mean, I have some that I think could do it. It's just like that you gotta make sure it's, like, perfectly around your arm, and...
Yeah.
I want her. That one's on my list of video game tattoos that I want.
See, I don't have any, like, prominent video game tattoos ideas that I have. mine are definitely like I want to get the D&D ampersand on the shoulder,
Yeah.
and it would be like a quarter of an inch black outline for it, and then
Yeah.
instead of the standard red, it would be a light blue to dark blue ombre.
See, that'd be nice. That'd be pretty.
And then down this forearm, I want to get the very cliche like polyhedral dice. And then there's a tattoo I saw that has watercolor dragons for each of the chromatic dragons behind it.
Okay.
And I think that would look really freaking dope. But video game wise, I don't think there would be any that I would, because I'm a logo guy too with graphic design, and like I don't want to be branded with a bunch of like video game logos in retrospect.
Like I
though.
do for the when I got like this, I got like my little Zelda.
I just noticed that today, honestly.
You've never?
No.
I know, that's my Triforce. That's my custom Triforce that I had made for Legend of Zelda. There's even like a little Silent Princess in the center that I had,
nice.
and for, like each of the others. No, I had her custom made like 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 4 years ago. Damn.
Time flies, doesn't it?
It is, yeah. No, I had that, and then like I don't have anything on my arm, but this is my video game arm. I like have like, but I need like them to cohesively flow into each other. That's where my issue lies.
They gotta look right.
They do, and like there's so many things I like.
I think I would get a Pokemon tattoo.
See, I don't know what Pokemon I'd get. That I guess, I'd get something dumb. I would probably get like a Mudkip or something.
Mudkip's not dumb though. That's
He's
like
so cute. I get him, or I get like a Ditto.
You need a Quagsire. You need a Quagsire right on your shoulder. Just that little dirt.
Oh, stupid! It's not video game, but Adventure Time. You know the little snail that's waving.
Yeah.
That was in every episode. I want to get him behind my ear. So he's just poking out, waving if my hair is pulled back, and it's just like, hey, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
Just Shelly back here.
I think if I'd get a Pokemon, it would have to be a lot of like the fire starters, because I've always been fire starter main.
Cyndaquil was my bitch. Cyndaquil was my original bitch Pokemon.
Thank you, God.
I love him so much.
Cyndaquil,
he's so cute.
Cyndaquil, in my opinion, is the best of like the first form of the starters.
I agree with that. I agree with that 100%. And
then, of course, I'm a very cliche Charizard guy, because and I will agree with the Pokemon fan base. I'm pointing at them. Charizard to me is overutilized and really overrated now. Yes. Yeah, but they've been pushing Charizard real hard. Yeah.
Have they? I haven't there. That's kind of funny.
And like, did Leon, champion of Sword and Shield, need a Charizard? No.
But he got one.
But he got one, and it was dope, and it was cool. Did Charizard need 2 Mega Evolutions out of all of the starters?
Yeah.
Yeah. yeah, he did.
He did.
He's dope, and we finally made him a dragon.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so, but then behind that is it's a tie between Infernape and Blaziken for me.
Okay.
But also then we get on the Pokemon fan base being angry with the fire types of, oh, we got all these fire fighting types, and it's like, yeah, because they're cool. Shut up.
People are just always going to be bad about everything, no matter what the fan base is, no matter what the topic. People are just going to be mad.
Well, and
you can give people what they want, and people are still going to be mad.
Well, and it's fun because the two fan bases that I know you deal with the worst, and that's Persona and Dead by Daylight.
Oh, I don't interact with I refuse to interact with the Persona. Like, I've heard enough that I'm like, no, I've never had negative experience in the Persona fan base. I refuse to let Persona shit into like my feeds, even because people are so shitty in the comments. I'm like, it is a fucking video game. It's a video game.
Yeah.
Chill. 2, the storyline doesn't change. I'm sorry that like people want to like force you to play the game their way. It's one of the biggest fights I see. It's like, you can't play it this way. You shouldn't be like building your persona. It's like, fuck you. I'm in this to look at my cute anime boys. I'm getting through my fights just fine. No, I will not learn how to do the extra fusion stuff. I'm just a girl. And look at how much fun I'm having, and I'm beating the game just as well as you are in hard mode. Crazy.
crazy.
Crazy. It's almost like there's other ways to do this game and it's set up that way for a reason.
I think because my experience with Persona, and I know Vinny's gonna call me out on me on this, and it's gonna be a time. My introduction to Persona was the P4 fighting game.
I'm so sorry.
And that was at an anime convention as well.
And like those little like well, Persona itself is a spin-off of the Shin Megami series. I only do the main title Persona games. But like all those little like spin-offy ones they did, especially with Persona 4, really did unfortunately bring a lot of fan base to the game.
Yeah.
But they're just not for me. I've tried like the little it doesn't do it for me like the main games do.
I want to get the rhythm game just because I like the music and a rhythm.
All the dancing, the sun and moon and the
yeah, I
there's
like
so many.
And so I want to get those just because I like a good rhythm game as well. But then I know we've had this discussion in your stream. The only one I've played through most of is I played through a third of 4. And then
how did you feel about 4?
I enjoy the story for what I've played of it, and this is me comparing it to 5 Reloaded, which is the one I've spent the most time with because because if
5 is a completely different beast than like the original 3 and 4.
And so comparing it to that and what I played of it, because I'm literally in the last palace getting ready to do a bunch of. I realized that I did not have the last palace fully explored, and I have a week until I have to go and raid him, and I'm like, oh crap, let's relearn how to play Persona 5 now. But 4's story, I feel, is a little forced in areas for the bit I played of it.
Like, I can't tell you why I didn't like 4. Like, the story was there. Like, they had twists. They made me go, oh, a few times. Which, like, but they didn't make me feel anything.
From my
then, like, the Nanako stuff that they ended up throwing in at the end, I was like, I don't know about this.
And see, I don't even know any of that because as I said, I've maybe played like a third of it. I'm
not gonna say anything else, but like they tried to make her more prominent. She's not like a Persona user like that, but like it just wasn't it for like the vibe of the game just wasn't doing. And I love like rainy games too, like the rain atmosphere. I liked that concept, and I'm like, why is this game just not? I forced myself through 4, and I never replayed it again.
That's Teddy, isn't it, as well, for the mascot?
Teddy,
who's a hell of a mascot character that's just like, buddy.
We don't gotta talk about Teddy.
Oh, okay. We will not talk about...
I could not stand that fucker. Every time he opened his mouth, I wanted to put my controller down and walk away.
At least Morgana's, like, charmingly annoying.
Yeah, like, Morgana was like, yeah, okay, here's your mascot. But, like, Morgana didn't piss me off. Morgana got turned into a regular cat sometimes and could only meow at you, so...
Yeah. But, so, like, it's interesting with my history with Persona because, like, and then you talk about, like, min-maxing and the fusions and all that because
that's not for me.
Because I had I had 2 guys in my college dorm my senior year when I started playing 5. I would ask for tips and they're like, well, do you want simple and enjoyable that you can just get, like, the connections done, or do you want to go balls to the wall, wreck everything in a 9-mile radius?
Yeah.
Like, simple, please.
I didn't even fuck with them for the connections and, like, the social link aspect. Like, those progress naturally on their own. If you want to, like, speedrun, get all of them, like, in one run, then, yeah, you'll have to min-max for it, but...
And I just made sure for, like, I picked a select characters that I knew that I wanted to be like, hey, I want to get their social links. Nurse Mommy, yes.
Nurse Mommy, I loved her. So I love being a teenager in games and just endorsing flirting with an adult for some reason. Do not do that in real life. Absolutely. But for some reason in a video game, I'm like, why is this greenlit? Why is this happening?
Because Japan.
I just wanted cheap medicine, man.
And then the teacher, secondary.
Oh my god. I fucking know. They love teasing that shit over there. And I'm like, guys, we gotta move on.
But also...
This isn't Persona 3 anymore. Like, we're in 5. We're moving on. Like, this better not be in 6.
But, like, also, those were my 2 favorite social links as well, though.
I know. Like, because I wasn't even going into the nurse one like, ooh, yeah, I was thinking, ooh, I'm gonna get some deals here.
She's my relationship for my P5 run.
Well, I was gonna go for An. I was like, An's the girl.
Well,
An was her
so
until
if
I
we,
met Makoto.
yeah, see, there it is.
Yeah, and then I was like, at first, like, I was very against her on my team. Like, she warmed up to me real fast. It didn't take long, and I was like, well, actually,
Well,
Debbie
actually,
hair flip.
yeah,
Actually, I just might.
you're the class
I did.
president? Yeah, okay. I can get away with a
Oh,
lot of things now.
oh no, no, I was just like, damn girl, you show me that motorcycle.
Also, yeah,
You
having a
maybe you do
transformer,
have a red flag hidden in there somewhere.
having a transformer for a persona. Yes,
She
please.
was by my side in every fight, never took her off. She was there. She was my girl.
Okay, so
Or in on both.
who's your least favorite character out of the party members for 5?
Yusuke.
Thank you. Okay. Oh god.
He's annoying! I'm sorry.
I thought I was about to
no hesitation.
I thought I was gonna kick a hornet's nest, which I might, depending on who's in chat. I don't know if
You will, but like, listen. Don't take my advice. I go for the wrong character in every game.
as you said, like, I'm an artsy guy. I like my paints. I like my art history. Buddy, shut the fuck up.
Oh my god, like how uncomfortable I was. Whenever he's like, I must paint on nude.
No, you don't. You don't
No,
need to.
nope, I don't get to see her nude, you for sure don't get to see her nude. Try again, bucko.
If we don't get an 18 plus on this, sir, you don't.
Yeah. I don't get they leave it all to my imagination. You gotta keep it in yours, thanks. Paint with your brain.
Paint with
and
the
then
brain.
show me.
And then he's not a honestly, my favorite of the male characters is he's got the baseball bat. He's got
blonde.
Yeah. What is his name? Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryuji's a bro. Like
I mean, Yosuke in like 4 was probably the worst, but like Junpei and Yusuke, like those two, or Ryuji, like those are the best boys.
Yeah,
best boys in those games.
Like
I love the besties they give you in them. They're so much fun.
And Ryuji's a guy that I would have actually hung out with in life too. It's like, I can relate with this dude. Yeah, I get it.
I know, gives off red flag is actually a green flag. In case you're wondering, gives off red flag, he gets no. Oh, he's a green flag. He's a softie. He's not really a bad guy. He was just wronged.
He was just wronged and pushed around a little, which is
and had his leg snapped by a teacher. But we don't have to talk about that.
We don't have to talk about that. Also, my least favorite palace.
Teacher, don't you worry. I took care of that teacher once I found out.
My least favorite palace too.
That intro to the game though. 5 threw me. I was like, oh. I remember Dylan was taking a nap, like, next to me, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I need to tell someone about this right now. Like, I can't talk to anyone. And Dylan woke up, and he got flooded with information about this game. And, like, not even awake. And I'm just like, this game's fucked. They just made her step up. Like, I almost just saw it. Suicide. Like, this isn't cool.
This is a time, man.
Like, they stepped up Persona.
Okay, so that brings an interesting question to mind. Other than that, because of course that is shocking and appalling. Yeah. What's like a twist or something grilled cheese? Wow, Paul's. Oops. Speak those words again. What's a surprise or twist in a game that has absolutely just like stuck with you?
Oh, that's rough. Life is Strange stuck with me for a while. The first time I played that, the whole finding out that Chloe either gets to, like, I played this whole game and either I can sacrifice the whole town for Chloe, or I have to go back and watch Chloe die in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And sacrifice her for the team. That one hurt. I know there are other games I've played, and my brain is flopping right now.
I love that choice, though, for Life is Strange. That was...
Life is Strange had, like, a really... Life is Strange... Beyond Two Souls...
Beyond Two Souls was good.
To me. That game did something to me. I played that one in high school. I think that's why I liked Life is Strange so much, because it gave me very similar vibes, and I like the games where, like, your actions really impact something, and even after the twist is revealed.
Did you play Become Human?
I didn't. I've heard people have been telling me to, because I ended up playing Heavy Rain. Kev got it for me, and like I ended up playing that because he's like, you're gonna like this, and now I'm being told to play. I need to do Becoming Human.
I won't do like super major spoilers for it, but that is one of my all-time favorite story games. Like
Okay.
Connor's fantastic. Love him to death. We've got the girl who played in Heroes, Save the Cheerleader, Save the World, as Kara. Kara's a
Okay.
sweetheart that can become a badass if you really want her to. And then if you're a it's a really big nurse drama show that's been on for freaking ever, and everyone raves about it.
Grey's Anatomy?
Yes.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Supposedly one of the hot nurses slash doctors from it is one of the other the third main character.
Okay.
And
That's interesting.
And so like Connor, he works for the corporation that makes the androids, and he's one of their new lines that's a detective.
Yeah.
And then Kara is a replacement for another one of her serial number for a household that's in like the slums.
Okay.
And then Marcus is his name, which I think is the actual actor's name too, which is funny.
I don't know if I could play a character that has my name. I feel like I'd be getting things like information in there.
Yeah. But he works as a like home health aide for this really famous painter. And their stories are like, some of the twists are really good. The only one that you can't accidentally kill over and over again is Connor. But the reason for that is real, like, because I did it with my second playthrough where you can either choose Connor to help or hurt, like, the uprising of, like, androids becoming sentient, becoming human. And
becoming human in the game!
Yeah. And if you play him very corporate, you can really emphasize that if you let him fail QuickTime events and he dies, because he comes back, and you're like, wait a minute, I just got hit by a truck, motherfucker.
Excuse you, one moment.
But with Kara and Marcus, it can end their story right there, and it's like, okay, let's see where this rabbit hole goes, and also see how many times we can kill Connor in terribly brutal ways.
That's really funny. It's just Connor gets a free pass. Sorry, we don't want him dead.
But the intricacies of those stories and those characters, and there's like a horror moment with Marcus that like it stuck with me for a moment. And then there's a lot with Kara that like if you have like triggers with domestic violence or stuff like that, it'll hit home for sure.
Okay.
But it is. If I had the money, I would literally gift it to you right now, Gab, and be like, play this. Like, next stream, you're playing this.
Caleb, my backlog cannot handle another game right now. My backlog's back is broken.
Gab, my Steam has over 333 games. I don't even count
my backlog cannot handle this, Caleb.
No, that's why you don't play the backlog. You play it next stream.
But it's gonna be more than a one stream event.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Do you know how many unfinished games I have on stream?
Do you know how many I've grown? And also,
Vinny will attest for me. He yells at me all the time because I'm supposed to be finishing games, and then I'm like, "Oh my god, guys, look, let's try this one."
I'm gonna.
And then there's like, I need to finish Persona and this and that. Oh look, let's start another Dark Urge run on Baldur's Gate for stream.
Yeah, and so like, I bring up like if I'm looking at my games right now, I know off the top of my head, I'm not gonna be able to finish Starfinder because I need to upgrade my graphics card, and I didn't get to do that, by the way. I don't know if I told you.
I didn't.
I tried to affirm it, and because I've got a couple of firms that have been behind before, they're like, nah, you can't do this just yet. I'm like, well, I'll pay the rest of these off then, I guess.
Please?
But yeah, it was because I was gonna upgrade my graphics card, and then I was gonna upgrade my mic as well because I was gonna get a boom mic, stand piece, and
yeah, I would love to have mic with an arm. I don't know where I'm gonna put it on this desk, but I need it.
Exactly, especially if you look at my desk, like you've seen my desk clean.
Space over here you can see, but this is where my kid likes to sit whenever I'm not streaming to watch one of my monitors.
But then like Oblivion. I've got to finish my playthrough on it,
Hmm.
and I enjoyed starting Oblivion, but I'm getting to like this weird slog point. It's that nostalgia effect of like, yeah, I'm loving
Yeah.
playing
Oh
this
no, no, no.
game,
I get that. Like, I will start games and be like, oh, and then I remember parts I just don't want to do, and I'm like, oh, maybe I don't want to play this game.
and then Pathfinder: Wrath of the Righteous. It's a super long game. I dropped it off of stream.
Hmm.
Um, Echoes of Plum Grove. I'm trying to go through because I like
I get messages about sponsorships from them all the time. I'm like, I don't know if that's a Gap game.
it. Take Stardew Valley,
Hmm.
give it Paper Mario's aesthetic, and then it has this really interesting mechanic that I want to play through long enough to experience.
Hmm.
But when you get married and you have kids, your kids actually do shit, and
Oh.
your character will die sooner or later. And
Oh.
all the people in town also age and die sooner or later. And
Oh.
characters will marry each other. Like I remember Emmy's first stream.
Hmm.
She started getting a bunch of weddings all at once. I don't know if it's the month or a certain time of the year that she was in, but like she had the guy that she was going after married another
Oh.
guy in town.
Oh.
And I was like,
Rip
oh,
Emmy.
oh yeah, rip Emmy hard. And so it's like it has this nice generational trope to it that I really want to experience
Hmm.
because I know it would be cool. And then like Until Then, another really great story game that I would definitely suggest playing. Oh my god, it pulled up my heartstrings on certain moments that definitely shouldn't have. And then the twist at
Hmm.
the very end, whole buddy,
I
who
do love a twist. I
and
do love a twist.
I'm not gonna say anything. A, because I want you to play it. B, I know Mido is in my chat right now, who's one of my mods, who was also like
Hmm.
fully like enveloped in this game with me because
Yeah.
it's not fully visual novel, but it's visual novel esque because you actually have like cutscenes
Hmm.
that you read through. But to break it up, they give you like mundane mini games, and like
Mundane mini
one of them is
games.
plugging in a flash drive. Have you ever been able to plug in a flash drive on the first try? Do you want to not
That's
plug
a
in a
fair point.
Do you want to not
That's a
plug in a
fair
flash
point.
drive in the first try when you play this game? And then like
No, no, I don't think I need that in my life, actually. I think I can humble myself enough by trying to plug in a flash drive. Thank you. It's
and
gonna take at least 3 tries because first try, nope, flip it around, still doesn't fit some reason. It never fucking fits when you flip it around. And then you go back to the first try and it's like, pop, instantly. And I'm like, of course,
and then like
of course.
and then because I know we grew up in like that 2000s era, because I know we're around the same age. Um, there's a moment where it's like he gets bored one night because he lives alone. Your main character lives alone because his parents work abroad.
Yeah.
Second twist also hits hard with that with his parents, which was fun. Um, but so he goes through and he starts flipping through the channels of his TV. So you get to
Hmm.
watch Filipino telenovelas for a little bit,
Okay.
and then he gets tired of it, so he just turns it off and he lays down on his couch, and he starts going on Omegle basically. And I'm like, if this is not late high school Caleb,
That's the experience right there.
and then it's
All from your school Chromebook at that, too.
and then you have ASL, hey ASL, you
Hey.
15 male, disconnect. Hey ASL, 15 male, disconnect.
Until you finally, after like 20 tries, you get like female, and they're like, yes. And then the female disconnects.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, so this game is nostalgia, good story with these mundane mini games in there. And then the twist was fantastic. Well, I learned because one of the people that was watching me play it was in my chat that also played through it. And they're like, hey, just learned that there's a New Game Plus that automatically starts after the credits. And so I sat there and
Oh.
watched the credits. And then things started changing, like very minute things. And I'm like, wait a minute here. Wait
Oh,
a minute
no.
here. You're telling me I have to go through all of this with the knowledge I now have? and
All over again.
and then some
All over
and then I get to
again.
figure out what's different. Okay.
Yeah.
But I've been like, I want to play through it, but also at the same time, like, I need an emotional break for this because as we know with the cabin, I'm the hardcore variety streamer who plays
Mm-hmm.
50 different games in a stream.
Yeah. How else do you play games?
Yeah, and
Imagine the ADHD not rattling your brain and that you're able just to play one game in a sitting.
and
Crazy.
that's what Stray Gods was, and that's what 3 streams for Until Then was.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I'm gonna be stuck on this game for another at least 3 streams. I know I will. And it's just like, but what's gonna be different? What heartache are you gonna give me now? I'm also waiting for Mido to watch the VODs for the last episode so I can play it too.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm yelling at you, Mido.
Yeah, Mido.
And then Tavern Talk I'm running through, which it's been good as a visual novel, but I get this problem with visual novels, and I definitely get it with stream where I just go,
Mm-hmm.
this is nice, but I'm yapping too much. I'm yapping and I'm reading too much, and I'm forgetting character voices.
I can't do games where I'm reading. It's just like I want to yap. I need them to read for me so I can be yapping.
So, but like my backlog's really weird because it's a bunch of games that I'm like, here, we're gonna play this, and we're done playing this. Here, we're gonna play this. No, I'm done
I'll come
playing
back to it when my brain remembers it and says now's the time. At the most inconvenient time is when I will go back to play that game. That's how it works. Like I can't explain it, but that's just that's the variety gamer experience. Not everyone is a variety gamer, but some of us just cannot physically play like one game in a sitting. We have to play like 10.
Yeah.
In a sitting. I have to play multiple games.
And now that I'm thinking about it, I need to add my list and update my list on Twitch of games I've completed because I want to keep that log there.
Mm-hmm.
I've completed only 4 games on stream.
Welcome to the club, Betsy!
Yeah. And
how many games have you started? Like 20.
Yeah.
Are we still playing them all right now? Beside the point.
Beside the point. This is going
it's an experience. It's a good experience.
It
And
is.
people don't understand what it's like to mentally juggle multiple games at once. And honestly, they need to get on my level. They need to get on our level. I don't make the rules. I'm just enforcing them.
And it's really fun because mine go through such a jarring like variety of games. Mm-hmm. Like yours is either cozy or horror with Dead by Daylight.
I don't do much cozy, I wouldn't say, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I did Stardew with Emmy. I'll do, like, Minecraft, but, like, I feel like a lot of the games I play just aren't... Persona gives cozy vibes. Until I'm screaming at it. And... Persona can give the cozy vibes, but I am not delivering cozy with Persona in the slightest. Baldur's, I am not being cozy with that.
No,
I'm yelling... Oh my god, I'm trying to remember now other games. Even when I was playing Stardew with Emmy, I was like causing chaos and trying to write Joja in the flowers and was throwing rocks at the villagers. Like, I can't play cozy. Even when I want to, I'm like, but I could be mean to that villager.
I could be mean to that villager. I could chug mayo in front of that villager.
Delicious, thank you.
But
it's just what everyone wanted to see and hear. Thank you.
But I know that like you go through like either 1 or 2 games that either stay within like the same realm for things.
I try until my brain wanders off again.
Yeah. But then you have me that goes from City Skylines to Skyrim to Roller Coaster Tycoon to...
You have a lot of brain itches and you have to get them all, you know? Yeah. And sometimes one game you have to hit the different genres to get different areas your brain itched.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Gab gets it.
Of course I get it.
That's why you
my brain's a little spicy.
That's why you invited me to the cabin, because I get you.
Yeah. I need people to get me and that my brain doesn't work normal. And to understand that function. Thank you. I need people to be up here on my level. I'm actually very short, but you need to get up here.
Okay, so I'm going to pull the trigger on this question now. Because it's one of the questions I had fully planned for you.
Oh boy, this is going to be a good one.
It is. And it's mostly because I know on like the first 2, I know especially for Deska's episode that I did with him, I got really talking about the cabin.
Yeah.
And how much you guys just genuinely mean to me. And I will say that as long as I'm here.
I loved that episode.
You know, me almost crying on the video podcast here.
Yeah, well, Emmy and I are often a call going, he likes us.
So what made you and Emmy start the Cabin of Cozies?
So, to not dive into a lot of detail, I was originally a part of a different stream team. Indy was on it. And I invited Emmy to it. I was not in charge by any means. There was inactivity there, and then a lot of other stuff went down behind the scenes that I found out. By the time all that happened, it was literally just me, Emmy, and them. Like, they did not expand the team much. Indy had already left. And, like, there was never any, like, drama amongst us, but I found some things out behind the scenes, and I was like, I pulled the plug. I'm like, Emmy, you're coming with me. I literally said, Emmy, you're coming with me. I'm like, you're my angel. I brought you here, and we sat around for like a few weeks, and I was really thinking about it. I'm like, I want to start a team, but I don't know if I'm capable of doing it myself and keeping myself on track enough to do that. And I'm like, so I slid into Emmy's DMs. I'm like, hey,
Hey.
hey, girly pop, aren't you looking extra cute today? My sweet little summer angel, how we doing? Mwah. Do you want to start a stream team with me? Like a small, like, so that we can get, and like, she was on it instantly. Emmy had also been thinking like I was, but she didn't know what to do first. I was like, within a week, we had it up. We had our original team, like with all of the members, and then we were just expanding. And I started it because I just wanted to have like an initial group of friends with like the same goal and like on the same mindset. And like, we're all streaming, and everyone streams for their own reasons, whether it is to become a big streamer or whatever, whether you just enjoy it. And I just wanted people there so you knew you had someone to like support you or to go to, or if you had questions, and like everyone would be there for each other. And the team has really turned into that so much more than I ever thought. And the fact, like, I don't know, it freaks me out sometimes whenever I see like how many people I brought together, and I'm like out in the wilds and Twitch, and I'm like, oh, I'm like, wouldn't they be like a good person on the stream team? And I'm starting like to inject myself into other people's lives and streams because I'm like, hey, don't you want to be my friend? Which makes me feel like I'm not befriending people just for that, but I see them, I'm like, wouldn't your energies just be so cute in my cabin?
We're gonna start expanding this cabin. It's gonna be more than a cabin. It's gonna be like a mansion.
No, it's a cabin, and we're just gonna have to share bunk beds, okay?
Share.
It's fine.
Are we just building bunk beds to the roof, or are we like,
yeah!
or are we just sharing bunk beds, like physically sharing beds at a certain point?
We're gonna eventually hit the ceiling, right? So like we're gonna have to start doubling up in each bed, each mattress. You better find a bunk buddy right now, and not a bunk buddy above you, but like side by side. You're holding hands in your sleep.
You doing the cuddles?
Yeah, you better like the cuddle. You better find someone who doesn't stink.
No, and because, like, I know I've mentioned it very offhandedly and stuff. Like, when I joined a streaming, I was out here in the wild on my own, like, for sure.
Yeah, it's scary almost because there's so many people, and it feels almost overwhelming because so many people want to stream, and it's like, well, what people do I fit in with?
And like, I know I've explained my story. Like, I streamed starting out to be less lonely. Like, my house was like empty at night. Like, I couldn't tell you how many times I walked almost into my bathroom door because I left it ajar at the perfect angle that if I walked into it at night, it hit me square in the face.
Oh my god, Caleb.
Because the house was just pitch black at night. And then like, and I just wanted something to fill that void, that emptiness, in all honesty. Yeah. And then I'm sitting there on Twitter, and I'm getting back on Twitter now a little bit more, and it's like, okay, I can put up my feelers a bit there, and I can do a little bit on like my Snap story or my Instagram story, but it's like, I'm not going to do it on Facebook because then I get family members and...
Like,
I don't need...
I'm so sorry. People in my family who followed me on Instagram and keep trying to follow me, I have removed you as followers because this is now business. Thank you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and it's like... And then, like, for me, Instagram is very professional for me. It's my art stuff. It's my... I'm gonna cook. And then now, after my big breakup, I've started doing pictures of myself more and being like, hey, this is me. And then Threads popped up. I'm like, let's give this a... And then...
is so much more of a blessing. as a
It
social media for like smaller creators than anything else has been. TikTok's great, but like discoverability on TikTok, it's very 50-50. Threads, I was there in like the first few months, in the first month technically, but I wasn't using it, and I wish I would have utilized it even sooner because I have found so many amazing streamers and friends just through and like just mutuals. People like
yeah,
who just like to talk about games. I get to just talk about games with people all the time on there, and I'm like, my stuff has more reach than my Twitter account that I've had for over a decade.
and like I know I found Emmy first
Hmm.
out of everyone. And I'm like, okay, I see what they're doing here. And I'm like, this is definitely a platform that I can start putting myself out there a little bit more. And then I met his name's the Captain Miggs, which
I don't know if I know them.
he's a super, like I won't say super small, but like he's a smaller streamer because I feel
Hmm.
comfortable using that term and I know he does.
Yeah, I'm a smaller streamer. I mean,
And
it's just fact. There's no shame in being a
oh,
smaller streamer.
no, there isn't, and I hate the connotation that it has when you use it,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, "Well, no one's a smaller streamer." It's like, no, no, I'm a small streamer, and I'm proud
Yeah, I'm
of
a
it.
small streamer. It's chill. Like I don't stream to large audiences, and that is fine.
Yeah, and but I met him on there, and we got talking and jumping back and forth in each other's streams, and then I would sit there and I'd watch Emmy, and I still watch Emmy almost every time
Hmm.
she streams, and I'm like, "This is a cool group," and then she would jump to you or Cozy, and
Hmm.
I'm like, and then I'd see you on threads, and I'm like, these are really cool people. And then I started watching you more, and then you raided to indie one night, and
Hmm.
I melded into indie's community so
I
hard it hurts.
love I love introducing people to indie. I'm like, this is gonna be fun. This is like whenever I get a bunch of new people and I'm like going to raid one of my friends, I'm like, this is about to be fun. Like I can just feel the vibes. People are gonna like this. And indie's always on. Like
Yeah, and it's just like, and once I found these people, my brain, as especially because I had a bunch of indies community coming over. I know I have Vinny from who Vinny's like in everyone's.
yeah,
Uh,
I think Vinny came over from Emmy. I think that's how I found Vinny.
and
I could be wrong on that.
and so I'm just like, I'm sitting here, and in the back of my head, I'm like, all right, stream goals. I'm not gonna put this one verbally on threads or anything. I'm like, I'm gonna keep my regular ones there, but it's like my secret goal is
Hmm.
like, I want to be a part of the Cabin of Cozies,
Hmm.
and I'm like this because like one of the biggest things that has hit me as one of those constants in life is
Hmm.
I've always had friend groups that have been there, and we've gotten close. Something has happened, and it's just
And then
died.
everyone drifts apart, or just either way, the group dies off.
Yeah, and I've got one friend from high school that I can name that followed me to college, and he's been that one
Hmm.
constant. I almost
Yeah,
broke him when mom passed because I hugged him a little too hard, and the guy's no bigger than a birch tree. Um,
poor dude.
oh, poor man. JD's had it. JD's had it rough. Uh,
JD's a homie.
and then like, and then just sitting here and like watching my stream build, and like now I've got Mido, and they don't come on as much as they used to because I know they are super busy, just as much as I know Mido is, and watching me play RimWorld, and just watching me be a
Hmm.
complete just lunatic on RimWorld, and
I felt that, yeah.
still having it in the back of my head, I'm like, I want I want these friends, I want you guys because I'm comfortable. I'm I feel at home.
Good. See,
And
that's just the environment that I want. I want people to feel that way whenever like they come into the team or even just like through our streams.
and like mom passed away 6 years ago, and I had my home ripped out.
Hmm.
I put my home 6 feet under. And then I got with someone immediately after college, and they became my entire world. And then last year now, I can fully say that. And it's
Hmm.
like last year I lost my home again.
That's
And
tough. That's just I can't imagine.
it's just like the cabin's home, Gab. And I will never be able to thank you enough for inviting me here, or thank you enough for just being the absolutely amazing person that you are,
Stop.
and
Stop it.
and everything, because you guys have become my home. This community that I'm building, the fact that I'm doing this podcast now, that's been a project in the back of my head for
Mm-hmm.
years, that I have the
An amazing
resource,
project. I
it,
think this is phenomenal what you're doing with this podcast.
and just like, and the goals that I have for it, and the goals that I want to see with the cabin, and I want to see the cabin grow, because like, just bringing this sense of home to other people, and
Mm-hmm.
bringing it, because I know each of our individual communities are our own individual little homes and happy places, especially for our regular viewers.
Yeah, yeah.
I want to make sure that's the reason I wanted to be a part of the cabin, because you guys, you're the mission statement that you have on the main page, which I will put it in chat again. It's that's my goal as a streamer.
I know. See, because
And,
like I just want that, and like I'm awkward. You maybe we don't know from like my stream. I've made it very comfortable with my stream, but like going into other streams, sometimes I feel awkward for no good reason, and I'm afraid to like jump into like already like pre-established communities sometimes because it's like everyone knows each other, and I just feel like I'm almost getting in the way. It's like a hi, I'm a random here, and no one knows me, and I never wanted that in my stream. Like anytime there is someone in there like new, nah, I don't care, like you come in and say, hey, I'm giving you my full undivided attention as much as I am to everyone else, and I want everyone in my chat to be yapping to each other and ignoring me at times. You know,
oh
like get to know
yeah.
each other, please, I'm begging you.
Well, and like, I know a lot of people has probably definitely noticed when I do joystick journeys, I'm not paying attention to
Hmm.
chat. Like I'm seeing
Yeah,
chat and I'm paying attention to chat, but we're not interacting with it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
also turn off my blurb sounds during
Yeah,
this too.
probably for the best.
Probably for the
Oh
better.
god,
No.
I could never do that over a mic.
Oh
It's too
god.
loud over there.
Oh
It's loud
god.
over there.
With some of them I have, which are mostly from abridged series, cool buddy.
I just have Blurp open. What are you talking about? They can play whatever they want over a mic.
And so it's just like, but like seeing them chat when they pop off in
Hmm.
there with joystick, it's like, that's nice.
Yeah, it's like,
That
yeah. Look at them. You guys, are you guys friends?
You guys
Are you
doing the
guys friends?
things? Join my Discord, please.
Join the Discord. Join Caleb's Discord. Join my Discord.
Join both of our Discords.
You gotta go to my chat. We don't have a link for that here, sorry.
But so like, everything that we are now a part of, I'm just gonna sit here and I'm gonna sound like a broken record and just thank you over and over, Gab. And I know it's gonna be for Emmy's episode whenever I schedule it. And I know I'm probably gonna make Emmy cry. And if Emmy
You're
cries,
gonna
I'm
make Emmy cry.
and if Emmy cries, I'm gonna cry.
I'm an emotionalist pit. Like you're not making me cry on stream. It's bad enough Persona did once. You're not making me cry on camera. Mm-mm. I'm a
Hey,
bad bitch.
I got you to smile, that really big, amazing smile you have, though.
Stop.
Never.
Stop.
Never. But so, and I like that's what gaming is, because
Mhm.
I know we've talked about, and I love that I always round out back to this at some point, it seems, with all the streamers I've talked with so far. That's what gaming is down to its core. It's the communities. It's
It it
no,
really is.
no matter how toxic they are,
Yeah.
or
No matter, cause you know where I met Justin.
oh
I
god.
met Justin in a Dead by Daylight lobby. He was my killer.
Yeah.
And, and Justin and I look at us now. Justin came in my chat. He wasn't mean to me, and now we're besties.
Yeah, as you two violently yell at each other most of the time.
We're besties, Caleb. We might not admit it to each other, but we love each other. Justin sends me memes all the time. They're my favorite.
And just like that right there, like, I remember a lot of my earlier days for gaming, and especially like my first MMO was Star Wars: The Old Republic. Me and my brother ran a guild of over 200 people. And if I could ever find those people again, because my username's the same fucking username, it always has been, always will. If I don't get Sandninja52, someone is dying somewhere. and it's just like,
Me
but
though, me with my name. You're not fucking fucking taking my name.
You've already had that experience.
Yeah. And I fought a 12-year-old for it, and I got my name.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're not allowed to be on YouTube if you're under the age of 13. Fun fact, and uploading videos about yourself. Just saying.
Just there's Gab's
saying.
PSA for the day. But like,
if a 12-year-old has your username and you want it, you can fight them.
Gab out here threatening 12-year-olds across the nation.
Yeah. My name, I've had this username longer than you've been alive. You're going to give it to me.
And then I remember social gaming like that, or like there was a really big shooter MMO on PlayStation 3 called Mag. It was one of the first games of like that generation that wasn't PC that did 120 versus 120 versus 120 lobbies.
Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot of players.
And it was massive. And I remember like with my brother, we found a platoon of people that we stuck with and we played with every time we played.
I love that for you though.
And
you found your homies.
Oh yeah, and that's what I think the cabin is, and for streaming and what gaming is at its core is finding those like-minded people that you can just vibe with, or as I've been doing a lot often lately, just hanging out in the cabin VC.
Yeah,
and seeing.
I love going nonverbal in a call while I'm playing a game.
And like
it's my favorite pastime.
And Indeed definitely pointed it out last episode when I brought it up. It's like that's when you know you're comfortable with people. That's when you know you vibe with them, and that you can just sit in a voice call for hours on end, not saying a damn word, except for the occasional. It's my favorite pastime. Hey, I'm gonna go refill my water bottle, and they're like, yeah, okay.
Or me playing a fucking like soundboard noise, or being like, is anyone alive? Hey, I'm still here. You guys want to see? I'm sharing my screen. Did you guys see me get that kill? And no one's watching me, but I ask anyway.
And we're like, yeah.
It's like, no, you didn't. Discord tells me you're not watching.
Well, it's okay. But that's what I love about gaming is just like everyone has this unique journey for it, and where we come from it, and like my greatest memories with my brother and my cousins is gaming. Some of my greatest memories through college was definitely gaming or Dungeons & Dragons, which is just tabletop gaming. And now
D&D is one I've always, but like I've never had the time or the group.
I'll get you one shot.
It's time. It's just the timing and then the building of my character and all that nonsense. And I say nonsense. It's a lot. It's a lot that goes into it. I saw where they're changing some of the rules in D&D though.
Nope. We ain't opening that can of worms right now. That is a
I'm sure that's a topic, but it's been coming up on my TikTok, and I was like, oh, that sounds fun. Like I bet people are mad.
Oh, people are pissed.
I think some of them sound like nice changes.
There are some nice changes.
Yeah, I've only seen like 2 or 3 changes, so I'm like, that seems nice.
There's some nice changes, and then there's other ones where we're like, all right, Wizards of the Coast, do we have to do what we had to do with the SRL or whatever the patent license, the Creative Commons for it was, the SRD?
How
do we have to do? So
wait, let me think. What's one that I remember? It is that druids are now allowed to use their bonus action to wild change or wild shape or whatever.
So
I'm like, sound great.
So okay. So the fun part of that is in Standard 5e, there's a path of druid called the Moon Druid, which is in Baldur's Gate. Halcyon is one. Halcyon is a Moon Druid, I'm pretty sure.
Okay. I didn't know that.
And it lets you wild shape as a bonus action, and the CR level of creatures you can go to is higher. That new rule completely kills that subclass. Because now it is to every druid.
By subclass, you don't exist anymore. Sorry.
And it's just like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing here?
That's what we're doing here now. Congrats.
But then there's other ones that are like True Strike, which is one of the most, Gab, if I ever see True Strike on a character that you play in Baldur's Gate, it's a cantrip. I swear to God,
I never. Oh yeah, it has like a little. It even has like the little like shooter icon, right?
yeah,
Like the crosshairs. Yeah, I never clicked that one.
good, because it's a terrible, absolutely god awful spell. And
Yeah,
the
I learned. I figured that one out fast. I was like, this is shit.
and it what it for those in chat that don't know fun D&D spells like me, and if my light wasn't on and it wasn't getting dark outside, you could still see the giant bookcase of D&D shit behind me.
We've seen it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Anyone who's been here has probably seen it at some point.
But so it's a cantrip, which means it's a 0 level spell that you can cast any time of the day.
Yes.
It takes your full action and it gives you advantage on your next attack roll. So, for those that don't know, advantage for attack rolls or any roll means you get to roll the dice twice and take the higher.
Yes.
I
do know that.
You have to wait your entire turn to attack.
And you have to wait for everyone else to go.
And then you get to attack with advantage.
Yep.
Why worry about advantage on one roll when you could attack this turn?
And then also the next one again.
And then attack up the next turn.
Because that just feels to me like you could hit twice, or you can hit them once for the power of 2. And still waste a turn.
And still waste the turn. So if my knowledge is remembering right, because I know they've probably messed with it because they've been putting out, they call it D&D 1 for whatever reason. It's D&D 5.5. It's either D&D 5.5 and we're getting what we did with 3rd edition, or we're just making a new edition of D&D. Just pick one lane. Okay. Don't give us the shitty Apple iPhone naming convention, please.
Nope, that's how they're going to do it every single time from now on.
I know it is, and I hate it.
You don't give something a cool and edgy name, did you really change it?
Exactly. And so because we've been getting playtest material since they first announced it. Because that's why we had the big SRD debacle last year. Because they wanted to take it where you can't homebrew anything, and anything you homebrew becomes Wizards licensing that they can make money off of forever. And everyone
I've heard a lot of things about Wizard of the Coast.
Yeah, they're not a fun company. Them and Hasbro.
Yeah, I heard that Larian absolutely refuses to work with them again on another game.
Yep. And I hate that because I would love...
I know, because Larian did an amazing job working with them for Baldur's. So I'm like, you're that difficult, huh?
Yeah.
That a good game like this is like, that's it. That's the cutoff.
That's the cutoff. And... so I think they made it where True Strike costs a reaction now. Which is somewhat nice, but you also can't use a reaction ability on your turn. Reactions have to be used on another person's turn. And then it gives you a +5 to hit.
That's dumb.
That you can't use reactions.
I'm allowed to react on my own turn, thanks. I promise I can react in any moment of time, thank you.
But like, so from game mechanic wise, if it gives you a +5 to hit, cool. That's worth it. That's worth it for a cantrip, at least.
Yeah, for like basically a free spell.
But the other problems I'll wait until we're out of Joystick.
I don't know enough about all this now. Now we're wandering off. I know Baldur's and I know my Vampire Man.
Yeah, you know your story.
I know how. Yeah, I know my Baldur's Gate D&D, but that's like the most D&D I know, and I know that's not exactly true to D&D.
Well, and see
not 100%.
So bringing up Larian and Baldur's Gate and Wizards being Wizards, the really funny thing is like regular standard 5e Rangers. They're a good class if you really want to specialize it and you want to do it that way. But a lot of like the original stuff for 5e when it first came out for Rangers, 3 different classes did it better. If you wanted to be a ranger that dual wielded, play a rogue or fighter. If you wanted a ranger that was specifically stealthy and was your skill monkey, play a rogue. If you wanted it for the little bit of magic, play a freaking druid because they get full casting instead of this quarter casting bullshit. And
yeah, I'm so glad that like sounds like being into D&D would actually make me a bitter person, I think.
It does if
I
you
think
have a terrible group.
I think it would make me a bitter person. I can feel it. I can feel like how I would get really pissed off and just not return to this.
And then, but like, Solarian rebuilt
Mhm.
Ranger from the ground up.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
And a lot of the changes that they did for Ranger, they're implementing in D&D 1, and they also implemented it in one of the source books for 5th edition, Tasha's Cauldron of Hideous Laughter, as alternate options for Ranger.
That's kind of really funny.
They
They're like,
also
damn,
they also reworked most of Monk, because Monk had some niceness to it because it felt very special, but
Mhm.
it was a hard. Its power creep was not on the same capacity as a lot of your other melee characters for sure.
Yeah.
And Larian found a way to fully like get that power creep balanced. And so,
Damn, imagine fully fixing their game for them until being like, bye.
yeah. And it's
Done. We fixed your game for you. You're welcome.
we fixed your tabletop, and then we said, and then Wizards went, okay, we're firing everyone that helped you work on this game.
No, that's not the answer.
That is not
That
the
sounds
answer.
about right. That sounds like the most Wizards Hasbro answer of my fucking life, I swear to God.
You know, not also sending the Pinkertons after somebody either. Because
No, maybe we're diving too deep into some topics here right now. We've strayed from the light of God in this podcast.
and it's okay. That's what we're here for.
It is, but we have strayed.
Yes, but
I have talked about men like they are objects, and now we're here. I don't know how we did.
and this is the great thing about content, and this is also one of the reasons I love doing this right now, is because we're just two buddies.
We're just two bros broing out right
broing
now.
out and yapping.
Talking about my favorite red flags in video game characters. Oh man, if you ever want to have a whole episode, I will make a PowerPoint for you. If you think I won't, you got me fucked up. I'll make a PowerPoint.
I need this PowerPoint for my own pleasure and enjoyment now. So there's your homework, Gab.
Maybe I'll go over it. Maybe I'll invite you into my stream and I'll show you my PowerPoint.
Joystick Journeys bonus episode at the cabin.
Yeah, it's the bonus side quest at the cabin. Everyone's invited. It's gonna be me, a projector, and a lot of yelling. No, you are not allowed to commentate, and I'm going to tell you why I like these red flags in men in video games in Minecraft.
My favorite thing is if I would actually take the time off and actually like come visit you for that, and it be in person, and you just have me in a little
that
chair.
Be hilarious? Have you ever done that? I used to make PowerPoints with my friends all the times about like things, the dumbest things. I'd be like, "These are my video game crushes from elementary school."
So
a topic that's been touched on more than once in my life.
So we won't talk about the subject of the PowerPoint. Yeah, but in college, we had a very a little bit more than 18 plus PowerPoint made for our art director. About a certain sub community of the wonderful internet community that was
which internet community?
The furry community and a subclass of them. Yeah.
Is it the bronies?
No.
It's not the bronies.
It's not the bronies.
I feel like my guess would have been the bronies.
But it is a time, and I think it was a good 10 to 15 of us. We clocked out one of the times for one of the meeting rooms, and we convinced our art director, the dean of the art direction, head of art.
No, you didn't.
And we pulled him in there because he asked a question in one of our senior level classes. And so next thing you know, you have 15 to 20 of us sitting in this college lecture hall giving a PowerPoint that is in very big detail and very vast images pulled from DeviantArt.
Yeah, you shouldn't have asked. You shouldn't have brought up DeviantArt first off.
And so yeah, that is where that went, and that was a time. So yes, I'm very informed on making PowerPoints with friends.
Good, as you should.
But
making PowerPoints is a bonding experience with friends. I'm just saying.
It is. And so is playing games.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that this is the note that we get to go, goodbye, y'all. We've
Bye.
we've had a wonderful we've had a wonderful time. Gab, thank you again for coming out here to the arcade.
No, thank you for giving me once again another platform to yap on and express my feelings about men.
I'm glad I could do that for you. I can't wait to edit this thing so much.
You're welcome.
But for everyone uh over on the side, thank you guys for coming out. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. And I will see you guys next time. See ya.